Good evening, Southwest Arkansas. Welcome back, Southwest Arkansas weather here on January the 19th, 2026. Taking a look at your evening weather blog. First, starting off with your overnight lows tonight. Temperatures going to get down into the 20s across the region, maybe a few 30s. Calm wind overnight with some clouds possible that should decrease overnight, but we don't have a lot of cloud cover currently. But they're just a general idea there that any cloud covers that we do have will decrease as we go throughout the day or throughout the overnight time frame. Into Tuesday, mostly sunny skies, maybe a cloud or two. Southeast wind of around 5 miles an hour. Highs going to range from the upper 40s into the mid 50s across the region. Overnight lows going to get down into the 30s with some more rain chances as we go into Wednesday. On Wednesday, we begin an active period with highs in the mid 50s and upper 40s, overnight lows in the 30s, 70% chance of some rainfall throughout the day. Mostly cloudy skies on Wednesday with rain ongoing. Mostly cloudy skies on Thursday, maybe a shower or two left over. Highs in the 50s and overnight lows in the 30s. Then the big story is as we go into Friday, those highs, they're going to be set early. Temperatures are going to cool as we go throughout the day, so don't expect us to reach 43 in the afternoon. That's going to be a high set earlier in the day. And those temperatures, they're going to drop, and with that, rain will move in, and we could possibly see a wintry, or well, it's looking more likely that we could see a winter storm as we go into Friday and Saturday. What timing, that's still going to be ironed out, but looking like Friday, maybe afternoon, second half of Friday into Saturday, and you can see there, wintry mix will be possible looking right now as of this current time frame, looking like mainly that we'll see some ice out of that, but we are going to watch that closely. Once again, it's going to be very dependent, and I do apologize about that. I don't know what just happened there with our graphics. Gotta love when that happens from time to time. Let me get back to the 6-day forecast. But once again, going to keep a very close eye on that time frame, mainly because temperature's going to drop. We're going to be in the 30s, and you can see overnight lows in the teens, and then highs on Saturday only getting to the 20s with that wintry mix occurring. Mainly going to be probably freezing rain across most of southwest Arkansas and some sleet, maybe some snowfall. Going to be very dependent on where that snow and ice line mix or meet at and where that is at. Once again, still too early to get all the accumulation totals together. Going to continue to work our way towards that as we get closer. We'll start to get our accumulation maps more in line. Overnight lows on Saturday going to be in the teens and maybe even making a run for a few single digits there. A 70% chance of some wintry mix ongoing Saturday. Cloudy conditions, and then we start to cool or warm back up a little bit with highs in the 30s, lower 30s. We may struggle to get above freezing on Sunday with overnight lows in the teens again, and maybe some single-digit lows there. 10% chance of leftover precipitation. We'll keep a close eye on that with partly cloudy skies. So whatever falls, it's going to be here. That's going to be a story to say with that. Whatever occurs is going to be here for a little while, and it's going to stick around for a good, decent amount. So real quickly, before we go to our model data, I'm going to show you this. This is our winter weather outlook, our first real look at this. First graphic, this will be updated as we go forward. As you can see, most of the region, wintry mix / ice. Northern portions of the coverage area, maybe some snow. We'll see, though, the freezing line, or not necessarily the freezing line, but where that line matches up at, where you see ice and mainly snow to the north. Well, where you see snow and mainly snow to the north and ice to the south. We'll see where that line sets up at. Right now, it looks like it may just border our coverage area. We're going to have to keep a close eye on that. But let's take a look at the data behind this and talk briefly about that. So, real quickly here, this is the GFS model, newest evening or afternoon run, and we're going to show you this. Remember, data is not perfect, just one of the many tools we use to build forecasts, and this will continue to shift. But here's our rain chances on Wednesday. Those move out, maybe some leftover ones on Thursday, but as we start to go into Friday, you can see the GFS is wanting to bring in some cold rain Friday morning. And once again, we're going to watch this and see. I think, though, most of the big story is going to be Friday afternoon, you start to see that shift. This is wanting to show that shift earlier in the morning to maybe some to that wintry weather, and that just continues as we go into Friday and into Saturday. I will say the GFS is an outlier. It tries to keep it doesn't have as much moisture there with that. And if we take a look at the European model, this is actually the 18Z is just now starting to run, and it doesn't get to Friday quite yet, so we'll have to go back up just a little bit, and we'll get to that later on down the road. But as you can see, those rain chances there on Wednesday. Let me move this a little further down, and then those chances of rain possibly more Friday afternoon, evening, transitioning to some winter weather. And then here we go, a mixture of freezing rain, some snow, mainly across northern Arkansas into Saturday. And that's wanting to pick up a lot of heavy snow. I'm not going to show you totals yet because the 12Z European model tries to bury us in ice and snow. We'll see, though. We'll see. We're going to keep a close eye on that. But you can see as we start going to Sunday, it starts to move out. Like I said, maybe some small leftovers on Sunday morning according to the European model there. But the general idea is, once again, just continuing to keep an eye on those chances of freezing rain and snowfall with this. If we take a look at the chance of freezing rain from the European ensemble, this just shows us what the chances are for that freezing rain chances as we go into Saturday. You can see, look at this, southern Arkansas, pretty much this big of a signal this far out shows some pretty good chances for some freezing rain. And then if we switch this around and look at the snow chances, you also can see for at least 1 inch of snow, it's increased as well, mainly across northern Arkansas. But still, look at this. You're looking at 60% and 40% across portions of southern Arkansas as well. 4 inches or greater, that's a possibility. I'm not going to rule that out. That's the ensemble that shows maybe 50% right now. So the main point is, right now, this far out, we are getting some good signs that, hey, we're going to get some winter weather. What type? That's going to be to be determined. Whatever falls, I fully expect impacts to be likely with that, road impacts, stuff of that nature, due to those very cold temperatures. So now's the time to prepare. Make sure you have multiple just make sure you're prepared to for some colder air, very cold air, and make sure you're prepared. Remember the 4 P's: pets, pipes, plants, and people. Remember that as we go in towards this weekend. As always, nothing we're not used to here in Southwest Arkansas. We get it all. So just as always, stay aware. Continue to keep an eye on the forecast. As always, be careful. You're going to see snowfall and ice accumulation maps go around. Just keep a close eye on that. Remember to just have multiple sources to get your weather info, and make sure they're trusted sources. We got a lot of great ones in Arkansas, so keep an eye on that. But just know we'll continue to keep you updated with the newest. A lot to stay in tune with this week. As we go into this upcoming weekend, we'll be here right here at your source for all things Southwest Arkansas weather. Big thanks as always to all of our sponsors for making this possible. Have a great rest of your Monday.